Imagine a world where your dog comments on breakfast, a whale explains migration routes, or a crow tells us where it buried that shiny ring. Today we ask a serious question. What would it take, anatomically and neurologically, for animals to speak, and how would life change if they did? To understand the story of language, we must first look at the machinery that makes it possible. The basic recipe for speech requires three key ingredients: a source of airflow, a vibrating element to shape that sound, and a resonating chamber to form distinct tones. The power source is our lungs, driven by the diaphragm muscle, which provides a steady, controlled stream of air, the raw energy for every word we utter. This air travels to the larynx, or voice box, where it meets our vibrating element, the vocal folds. In mammals, these delicate folds of tissue are the primary sound source. As air pushes through, they vibrate incredibly fast, over 100 times per second for a typical male voice. By tensing or relaxing these folds, we change the frequency of their vibration, which our brain perceives as a change in pitch. But this initial buzz is thin. It needs character, which it gets from our resonating chambers, the throat, mouth, and nasal cavities. By moving our tongue, jaw, and lips, we sculpt that raw buzz into the rich and varied vowels and consonants of speech. When we look at our closest relatives, we see many of the same parts. Primates have laryngeal anatomy similar to ours. A chimp's larynx is structurally almost identical. However, a key difference is its position. The human larynx sits lower in the throat, an evolutionary shift that created an expanded pharynx. This gives us the acoustic space to form a wide variety of distinct vowel sounds, but the hardware is only half the story. Most primates lack the precise neural motor control and breath timing that humans use to articulate complex phonemes, the building blocks of spoken words. The animal kingdom, however, showcases stunningly different solutions. Birds use a unique organ, the syrinx, located where the trachea splits to the lungs. It can produce astonishingly complex sound because it has two independent sound sources that can be used simultaneously. This means a bird like a northern mockingbird can essentially sing a duet with itself, producing two different notes at once to create intricate melodies far beyond the capability of a single human voice box. Underwater, the rules change again. Cetaceans, like whales and dolphins, create structured vocalizations without vocal cords at all. They use specialized air sacs and tissue structures, shuttling air back and forth internally over muscular folds called phonic lips that vibrate to create sound. This closed-loop system allows dolphins to produce high-frequency clicks for echolocation, while humpback whales compose their famously complex songs that travel for hundreds of miles across the ocean, all without losing a single bubble of precious air. This brings us to a crucial distinction. Some animals, such as parrots and certain songbirds, can mimic human words because of their incredible syrinx control and brain specialization. A parrot's ability to say hello is a testament to its sophisticated vocal learning. But this is mimicry, a masterful imitation of sounds without understanding their meaning or the rules that govern them. Mimicry is not the same as generative language. Generative language is the uniquely human ability to combine a finite set of words into an infinite number of novel sentences, to express abstract thoughts and tell stories. It's the difference between a recording and a conversation. While these animals show us the diverse evolutionary paths to complex sound, the leap to symbolic generative language appears to be a story all our own. Neurology matters as much as anatomy. Human speech relies on specialized brain circuits that plan sequences of sounds, map meaning to symbols, and learn syntax. Many animals show impressive communication: alarm calls, birdsong dialects, whale themes, and varying degrees of cognitive complexity. But producing novel symbolic language requires not just voices, but neural architectures for intentional reference, abstraction, and grammar. That's the key gap for most species. So, how could animals get speech? There are three plausible routes. The first and slowest is long-term evolution. This is nature's grand experiment playing out over millions of years. For a species to naturally develop speech, it would need a powerful reason, a strong selective pressure like the need for intricate teamwork or passing down survival knowledge. We see hints of this potential in nature already. Think of songbirds and parrots with their specialized vocal learning circuits, or the complex whistle languages of dolphins. Given enough time, a lineage like a highly intelligent corvid could theoretically evolve the necessary anatomical tools, a descended larynx for a wider range of sounds, a more agile tongue, and the fine-tuned neural machinery in the brain to orchestrate it all into meaningful syntax. It's a journey of countless generations, a slow, monumental shift. The second route is far more direct: bioengineering. Instead of waiting for evolution, we could give it a deliberate push. This is the realm of cutting-edge science, using tools like CRISPR for targeted gene edits. Scientists could focus on genes crucial for human language like FOXP2 and introduce modified versions into an animal's genome. Another approach is growth factor modulation, guiding the development of an animal's vocal cords and larynx to make them more human-like. While more invasive, even surgical reconstruction of the vocal tract isn't off the table. This path is a shortcut, but it's a profound one, raising significant ethical questions. We would be fundamentally altering a species. The goal wouldn't be to simply make a talking dog, but to carefully and ethically unlock a new form of communication. Finally, the third and perhaps most achievable route in our lifetime is technological translation. This path cleverly bypasses biology. Instead of teaching an animal to speak, we build a machine that translates their thoughts. The key is the brain-computer interface, or BCI. These could be non-invasive headsets that read brainwaves connected to powerful AI algorithms. The AI would be trained to recognize the specific neural patterns associated with an animal's intentions and emotions. Imagine a dog looking at its empty food bowl. The BCI detects the neural signature for hunger and request, and a connected speaker vocalizes, "My bowl is empty." This isn't speech in the traditional sense. The animal isn't forming words. It's a direct mind-to-speech pipeline, a digital bridge between two different kinds of consciousness, translating the silent language of the brain. Now, consequences. If animals could truly express intentions, preferences, and pain in human-like terms, the ethical landscape would change overnight. Factory farming, hunting, and many research practices would face immediate moral pressure. An animal describing its fear or suffering would be a powerful legal and public relations force. New laws might establish rights, representation, and consent frameworks for intelligent species. Veterinary care would shift from inference to conversation. Diagnosis, treatment, consent, and therapy could be guided by the animal itself. The social and cultural effects of animal translation would be monumental, starting right in our own homes. The very nature of the human-animal bond would be rewritten. Imagine your dog finally being able to explain that its fear of the mailman isn't aggression, but a memory of a startling noise. Or your cat describing the precise location of a subtle internal pain, leading to faster, more accurate veterinary diagnoses. This isn't just about cute conversations, it's a revolution in empathy. We would shift from being caretakers to being true companions, capable of mutual understanding. The loneliness epidemic could find an unexpected antidote, as millions find a truly communicative friend right in their living room. Beyond our homes, wildlife conservation could be transformed. This technology would effectively turn every animal into a potential field biologist. Imagine a pod of whales transmitting real-time testimony about the deafening impact of commercial sonar, allowing us to map and mitigate acoustic pollution. A migrating bird could communicate that a vital insect population has vanished from a crucial stopover point, alerting us to a cascading ecological problem before it's too late. Scientists would no longer have to rely solely on inference from tracking tags. They would have millions of sentient, mobile sensors providing first-hand accounts on the health of our planet. Conservation could become incredibly precise and proactive. However, this incredible access to information comes with a dark and dangerous side. The same technology that could save a species could also be used to annihilate it. Poachers could interrogate a captured animal to find its family or locate a hidden water source vital to the entire herd. Corporations could exploit this knowledge for profit, tracking down rare medicinal plants or mineral deposits by listening in on local wildlife. An animal's innate knowledge of its environment would become a liability. The very act of communicating their world could lead to its destruction, creating an unprecedented ethical minefield. How would we protect this data? Who gets to listen? Even the delicate balance of nature itself could be thrown into chaos. Consider a herd of deer able to report the precise location of a wolf pack to park rangers. Do we intervene? If we artificially protect the prey, their populations could explode, leading to overgrazing, habitat destruction, and eventual starvation. The predators, unable to hunt effectively, might face their own population collapse or be driven into greater conflict with human settlements. The ancient dance of predator and prey, a cornerstone of ecosystem health for millennia, would be fundamentally broken. We would be forced to become micromanagers of the wild, making life-or-death decisions that were once governed by nature itself. Economics and industry would adapt fast. Translation services, legal firms specializing in non-human testimony, new entertainment formats, and whole markets for certified translation devices would emerge. Education and language studies would expand into comparative linguistics across species. Governments would need policies: who speaks for a herd of cattle? Which animals are competent to consent? How do we verify an animal's testimony in a court? There are also cognitive limits and misinterpretations to consider. An animal's voice might not mirror human thought. What we translate as a sentence could be a compressed signal mapping sensory states to action, not a full human-style narrative. Miscommunication risks are real. Assume a parrot can mimic a complaint, but it may lack the concept behind the words. Technology could amplify anthropomorphism, creating false confidence in cross-species understanding. Finally, unexpected outcomes. New alliances might form: working animals negotiating terms, urban wildlife organizing around food sources, or collective animal actions shaping landscapes. Or, conversely, social fragmentation if humans treat talking animals as commodities. The mere possibility of voice changes conservation priorities, legal systems, economies, and even our self-understanding as a species. Which animal would you talk to first? Your dog, a raven, a whale, or a cow? Imagine the first sentence they'd say back. Subscribe for more What If Facts.